Alrighty, in this video I'm going to cover a mechanic that I kind of forgot to cover, but that is I do have zeroing for your scope, so manual zeroing, as well as a somewhat automated system as well to kind of give you a rough placement, so to speak, for your projectiles. So for example, I have this function here that set up in C++ for getting the muzzle transform. So this gets your muzzle projectile socket and gives you you can enter in a range that you would like to hit in meters. So this has a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 100. And it's not 100% exact because you have different heights over bore and different velocities, but this gets you pretty close. So I'll show you how that works, and then I'll show you the zeroing system as well. So to begin, let me go ahead and just add decent scope, and I'll go into full view here. So I have this target, I think this one was at 100 meters, and I have the mark at 100 meters. So when I fire, as you can see, my shot is right where my crosshair was. If I go close, I think I had this one at 25 meters. As you can see, my shot is low due to height over bore, so the projectile is still coming upwards. So next up, let's change this to 25 meters. So this will be where the zero roughly at that close target. So let's go ahead and fire. As you can see now, it is about where my crosshair is, whereas before it was low due to height over bore. And then when I aim on this guy, it should be high, which it is. It's about 2 mils high. So that all works kind of as intended. So this should give me a rough zero at about 300 meters. So I think I actually have these, unfortunately, in yards for on the left side. So I have, can't tell if that's actually let's just assume it is. So we have 200, then 300. I should be pretty close here. Is that the right one? Yeah. As you can see, I hit no problem because I have a 25 yard zero or 25 meter zero. That should put me very close to the 300 yard mark. Now let's go to actually zeroing your scope. So I'm going to put this back at I'll do 100 just for the example. Or better yet, let me use a different muzzle transform. So get muzzle socket transform. So this will not have any zeroing at all. This will just be straight out of the muzzle. So that way I can show you the zeroing mechanic. That is thermal. Alrighty, so here's our 100 meter target. I need to move that a little bit closer. And I'm going to go ahead and I will fire right about here. So I'm going to fire and then I'm not going to move my mouse at all. So I'll shoot. As you can see, the impact is 2 mils low. So I'm going to press page up and bring my zero down to that point. Unfortunately, it just disappeared. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new projectile in and fire again. As you can see, this time it's pretty close. It's a little bit low. So I'll just drop it down. I'll do 2 clicks. So when I fire the next time, as you can see, it hit dead on with where I was aiming. So you can zero it in that way. So if I want to make it so that shot would be 2 mils high, so I know my zero's on at this range, I'll just keep going until, actually I'll make it go, why not go 4 mils high? So I'll make it so when I shoot now, it'll be at that topmost mil dot. As you can see, that's where the new impact is. So like I said, there is a zeroing mechanic in there and set up for you. So if you wanted to have that functionality in there, you can. And yeah, I just thought that would be something that's kind of a interesting addition that will yield some interesting results based upon how you implement it. So anyways, yeah, that's how you can set up the kind of the default close enough zeroing. And then you also have that mechanic where you can manually zero in your elevation for your scopes. So yeah, that covers, I think, everything in this system now. So we should be good to go. I do have one more part after this, which I already recorded, where I just go do a little bit more in depth with how the firearm handling gets influenced by weight, ergonomics, and the recoil as well. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, which is I think the last one before the initial submission. So I'll see you then.